evolution is true, for anyone to even try to tackle that, that's something that's been ingrained in their head since childbirth, basically. So it's really hard to counteract your points, especially when everyone's going to instantly side with you. So it'd be easier to go with
People
something
tend to follow the data. That's what I did. What do? How do you determine whether or not something is likely to be true?
Well, I question everything for once.
How do you determine whether or not something is likely to be true was the question.
Can I answer? I test.
I don't think you can because when I asked you, you chose not to. So I don't know what's going on. That's why I asked it again.
So I test what is observably true, what I see with my own eyes. I go onto YouTube and look things up of people who aren't affiliated with a giant community like NASA. That's what I do.
You ever been to Australia?
No, I haven't.
What are the odds that Australia exists? What would you put those odds at?
I think Australia exists. Why would I think it doesn't?
Because you haven't been there. And you haven't been to Australian YouTube either, where all the videos are upside down.
I've talked to people who live there.
No, you don't know that. You haven't observed them in Australia. You just talked to them.
Yeah, I talked to them, and I've met
them. Mate, I'm in Australia right now, isn't it?
There's a difference. I'm in Australia. There's a difference between talking to someone who has no reason to lie to you at all, between an organization who has tons of funding that does have a reason to lie to you. That's why.
Wow, good thing I don't get any of my data from NASA.
Okay, so let's go over something like the moon landing, for example.
I don't care about the moon landing.
You don't think you just accept it as fact?
It has no bearing on whether or not evolution is true or whether Earth is a globe or not.
The reason I'm saying this is the Earth isn't a globe or whatever, and it could be. The Earth, I don't know if it's flat or not. That's the whole point, is that I question everything. I don't know. It could be, but I've done my own tests and seen that the curvature of the Earth formula is incorrect. So the Earth
literally isn't.
Seems to be bigger, or it's flat. It's one of the two.
Why does the horizon exist?
Why does the horizon exist?
Yep.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Once it goes far out enough, you can't see past it because there's a drop, right? Yeah. It could also be atmosphere, and the curvature...
It literally can't, because an atmosphere would blur the ground and the sky together to the point where they don't ever meet at a sharp line. But the horizon, being the top of the curvature of the Earth from your perspective, perfectly accounts for that. And also, you can see things that are beyond the horizon, but only the top parts of them.
Yeah, you could be right. I'm not saying you're completely wrong. I'm saying with the formula that I've seen, I actually tested it, and it didn't come up correct. That's what I'm saying. It could be a globe.
Skill issue.
I just don't know. Skill issue. Okay, man.
Let's talk about evolution. That sounds like a lot more fun.
Evolution? Okay. I think in the sense that microevolution is true. Like, if tortoises need to reach a plant that's really high up, and the ones with longer necks can reach that food. So over time, they would have longer necks. That makes sense, right? You would agree with that? They would be more successful and procreate?
You're describing Lamarckism, which is false, but the idea
the general concept, yeah, is correct. The ones that are more successful in that environment will procreate more?
Yeah, sure. More. Okay. Turtles with longer necks do more turtle banging. Works for me.
Sure. So I think that is true, but I think like macroevolution is false. I think something going from water to land did not really happen. And the reason
how do you account for the evidence?
Well, what I'm saying is logically, did it come from gills? It went from gills to lungs?
There are fish that have lungs, right?
Okay, but they're
called
general,
lungfish.
Okay, what I'm saying is
we have fish with lungs. So a transition from a aquatic animal that breathes air to a land animal that breathes air is nothing wrong with that.
What I'm saying is that something that is basically created for an aquatic environment, like underwater, then going to land, you need to have those parts be like fully functional.
No, you don't. They only need to be partially functional. Do you know what a
So
mud skipper is?
Yeah, I know what a mud skipper is. Yeah.
Okay. Do mud skippers have fully articulated limbs?
I don't know. I don't research mud
They
skippers.
don't.
I know
They
they
just have
flop around.
fins. They just on the land, but they're able to live on land for extended periods of time. So there you go.
Okay. All I'm saying is I question things, and the reason this is because you shouldn't trust
You should look into things.
Something blindly, especially something you've been basically had ingrained in your head since you're a kid. That's what I'm saying. So you're saying,
what do the 40 books on evolution I've read count as? Indoctrination or learning?
It could be a bit of both, dude. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's not
How many books about evolution have you read?
I haven't read any.
Fucking jokes write themselves. So why are you qualified to talk about whether or not evolution is true if you don't know anything about the thing you're criticizing?
I'm not saying I'm qualified. I'm just saying people should question things. That's all. Like, use your own eyes and question things. Use your eyes, your ears, your actual senses.
Why should people do that? To what end?
I don't read a book and blindly accept it, is what I'm saying.
You don't read a book at all?
I do read.
What was the last book you read?
I absolutely do read. Yesterday.
What was the last book you read?
Turn the Ship Around. It's a leadership book. It's for my job. That's what I read. So I do read, and I actually do take information I want out of it. I'm just saying I don't blindly accept what I see. I question things, and I look into things.
But you don't look into the things you're questioning.
I do.
No, you don't. You've read 0 books about evolution.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I've looked up online about it and studied it.
I forgot about that damn internet. Always ruining my arguments. You're
pulling up ChatGPT, man. What does that mean?
Why would that mean anything?
You're getting your sources from fucking ChatGPT talking to somebody, and I can't.
I was looking for an example of something, and ChatGPT is very good at that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me you don't use ChatGPT for any of your research at all, or for any of your answers?
I use it to. I ask it questions often, but then what I do is I go to the sources of information from what it's summarizing, and then I check to see if that's actually. I basically use ChatGPT as a search engine that tells me a little bit about the source before I go in there. That's essentially how I use it.
Okay. What I'm saying though is just question things. There are multiple reasons behind what they tell you. Me personally, what my personal belief is that a lot of this is over exaggerated. A lot of what they say about space is like kind of lied to in order to get more funding. That's what I think.
For what?
To have more money. Well, for example, they will tell you an idea of, there's an asteroid and it has tons of gold on it and it'll make everyone rich. That's likely to make people more.
Nobody says that.
There's articles on it. There's an asteroid with tons of gold. We should go get it. That is basically laying a seed in someone's mind.
Nobody says that.
Nobody says that.
No.
You never seen
there
an
is
article.
There's talk about mining the potential of mining asteroids, but the idea that they're doing that so that you can all get rich. Hey, let's increase the budget and increase taxes because you're going to get a return on investment on this. You took something that's partially true and then conspiracy brained it into something very stupid.
I'm just saying that's the implication they make with it. They want you to be pro-space with articles like that.
Dude, I'm just saying people that doubt science, they just do that so that you'll buy their book where they talk about how they debunked science.
Aren't you selling a book?
Yeah, but my book is science. 2 books.
Your book is debunking myths. It's the exact same. Theirs is debunking science. Yours is debunking them. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, so you cannot claim to have any moral high ground.
When did I claim to have a moral high ground on anything?
Okay, then nobody should take your advice because you're guilty of exactly the same thing that you're accusing nefarious parties of doing.
I'm not, and by the way, I see in chat, I'm not saying I don't believe in space. I'm saying that what you see online, question it. Believe what is observably true. These things where they have CGI'd images of like these nebulas and all that.
How did an embargo on bird poop inadvertently contribute to the Holocaust? How did mammals end up with an eye inside their brain? Can you snap somebody's neck like in the movies? Learn the truth behind these and much more in my new book, Facts That Aren't True. Link in the description. What the hell does what is questioning things going to do? Because this is where you sound, this is where you look really bad. When people say, oh, I know that blank isn't true. And it's like, really? So you must know. You have all these arguments against something. So then you know what all the counter responses to your arguments are, right? Because you don't just flippantly and blindly and very naively just throw out these talking points and haven't dared to check whether or not there's a response to them, whether or not your talking points actually hold up to any kind of scrutiny, right? You did the research, right? But what the vast majority of these people actually do or don't do, they don't do any of that. Like you with I question evolution. Okay, have you looked into any of the strengths of evolution? No, I haven't even read one book about it. So it's like, why would I take your word on anything? If you're going to criticize something, you should at least understand it.
What I'm saying is, you just should question it. You can look into it and read about it. Yes,
you should understand it, not question it.
But are the things that you're reading, are they observably true? Are you able to test them yourself? What I'm saying is a lot of these things that they say, that they claim, are things that, like the Hubble telescope can see it, but your backyard telescope can't. So I don't know if it's inherently true or not. So what?
My car doesn't go 200 miles an hour, therefore neither does a Bugatti. I've never driven one. In fact, you have to be rich to buy one. In fact, even if you have enough money to buy one, they're very selective about who gets one. Oh, so it's just all a conspiracy. And yeah, there's like videos of people driving their Bugattis fast, but those are CGI.
Yeah, I've seen a Bugatti before, though. You see Bugattis.
Have you ever driven one 200 miles an hour?
No.
Therefore, they don't go 200 miles an hour. See, I'm just questioning things.
We've seen Bugattis. We've seen cars that go fast. We've seen all this. This is stuff that is observably true.
You can go to NASA if you want. You can watch a rocket launch if you want.
And I've watched a rocket launch.
You can do a Freedom of Information request if you want.
I haven't done a Freedom of Information request, but I've seen rocket launches and all that. I have. So I've actually gone out and looked at them and all that. It's just things are kind of weird where, like, a plane doesn't use the Coriolis effect. They don't actually have to bend it down as they do a long flight. Things like that are weird. I'm not saying it's a flat Earth. I mean, like I said, you could be right. I don't know. That's the point. But what you do on here is you put everything as a matter of fact, when really we don't know. I think a lot of shit. Okay, so
millions of scientists for hundreds of years have conducted millions of hours of research on these topics. It is known.
And a lot of these guys, like Isaac Newton, wrote a lot about like alchemy and things like that. Like not.
Yeah, he was a fucking weirdo.
Spiritual alchemy. Okay, Nikola Tesla, another guy.
I don't care about any of these people. They had no bitches. They didn't sling crypto, and I don't think any of them could dunk. So I don't fucking care what any of them think about anything.
I'm trying to have an actual, like, why did they do this? And then you go, they don't dunk. All right, man. Goodbye.
Okay.